So where are you going?
I'm going to pick up my house keys after like 8 months of waiting. Madness. Exciting. So it's going to take like 54 minutes to get there. So yeah. So I just went to the estate agents to pick up my keys. So I've got them there. I've got like 4 sets, I think. And yeah, and now we're just driving to the house. It's going to take like 10 minutes. And yeah, figure out how to actually open the door. I feel relieved, and I feel really proud of myself actually, because it's just been going on for so long, and I didn't think it was going to happen for ages. And this has literally been something that I've wanted to do for years and years and years. And I think it feels a bit surreal. Like I'm going to put the key in the door and be like, oh my god, this is mine. Scary. So it's a 2-bed and it's semi-detached, and the front drive is bigger than the back garden. It's absolutely huge. But the thing about this house is it's a full renovation project, so I literally have to do everything. I have to redo the electrics, plaster, rendering. It hasn't got central heating, so it's a massive project. So it's not as if I can just walk in and like hang my coat up and live there. But yeah, but again, that's something that I've wanted to do for ages. With hindsight though, I feel like I probably shouldn't have done it with my first ever property, because it's been very, very stressful. But I think in like 6 months' time, I'll be really proud that I've done it and decided to do a renovation. But yeah, time will tell. Oh, the ramblers are out. I feel scared. Oh my word. This is weird. It's a bit narrow. Ta-da! My first house. I'm actually scared of what I'm going to find. Oh. Isn't this surreal? I actually can't believe this is mine. It definitely doesn't smell as bad since the last time I was here. Oh, you know, I thought that was paint. The rubber gloves that have sunk into the bath. Yeah. How long have they been there to rot? So many cobwebs. Hello everyone. So it's been a week since I first got my house keys and the renovation is underway. So basically the first step is to strip absolutely everything out of the house, all of the carpets, all of the wallpaper, all of the little bits that are left behind. So we got a skip and we have started doing that. And what I want to do is go and basically show you the progress so far. So that's what we are going to do. So this is the enormous front drive. It's about twice the size of the back garden, but I like that there's a little hedge here. So I think basically we're just going to touch up the garden and not like tarmac the whole thing, because I think if someone else was to move in straight after me, they might want grass and I am not arsed basically, so I'm going to leave that. And then this porch here, so I personally think that it looks quite cheap, so what I want to do is have, you know, those like farmhouse style wooden ones with like brick down the side. That's the plan there. So all of this ivy needs to come off because it does damage the brick. Obviously I'll get rid of that little rail there. This here is a little carport. So the roof is flat, which isn't ideal for like rain coming onto it, so I'm told. But there's a lot of space and potential here. So I don't know, I think it's down to budget really. If I've got the budget, I think I'll turn this into a proper sealed garage. If not, and money's a bit tight, I'll just change this fence so it's a bit more closed off. So if we go around here, you'll see the garden, which is quite overgrown. And what I want to do, so there's another, watch that I don't fall on anything. There's another little porch here. I personally just want to get rid of this because I would love to have some either bifold doors here or French doors and a little patio, like a little area for a barbecue. I think that would be so nice. And then here's the garden, not as big as the front garden, but still a very decent size. And then, look, I'll show you. So, and I hope I don't have to use this, but there's a little air raid shelter from one of the World Wars. How much's that? And then in here, oh, there we go. So this, I'm guessing, is the original toilet. I'm not going to show you in the toilet because it's rank, but I researched that, and the toilet there, so that is made out of cast iron, and it's approximately 100 years old, which is crazy. So I'm going to show you one room at a time. And this, first of all, is the living room. So as you can see, all of the carpet is up. We've been using a steamer to get rid of the wallpaper. And this room is basically just ready for sanding now. So the plan for this room, have it as a living room, and there's a fireplace here. So they've stuck on a gas fire over a traditional fireplace. I've no idea what it looks like, but I would love to take that off, see what it looks like, and maybe put like a log burner in there. I think that would look really cool. It's quite an old house. I think it's 20s, I'm not sure, but I love that it's got really quirky old features, so I want to keep them as much as possible and just modernise it basically. So I think if we could get the old fireplace and then create some sort of media wall, so that you've got some shelving, some space, and then you can have like your sofa and stuff over there. You know what I love as well? These like really old-fashioned farmhousey handles. I think I want to keep these just because they look really cute. They're actually wood. I don't know what this is. It might be brass or something, but just tidy them up. Tidy up the doors, tidy up the walls. So there's a little cupboard in here, which is not very exciting, just for storage. And then the kitchen, which is more exciting, which, let me step back. So as you can see, it's quite dark at the minute. So you know I was talking about the bifold doors or French doors. They would go there. And then this is the current unit that is in at the moment, very old. But I just want to modernise it and still have that like horseshoe shape there. And then there's a little window here, which is nice for some light. So far in here, not too much has been done. We've cleared out all of the cupboards and the wallpaper is starting to be stripped off here. There was a leak, so the bathroom is directly above and there was a leak from one of the pipes. It still needs fixing, that's on my to-do list. So it's caused a lot of damp in here and a lot of mould. And so what I need to do, because I had a damp report before I moved in here, I need to have a damp course put all the way around this room. So that hopefully should be happening next week. But we took up the carpets, we need to take up the laminate, get rid of all those units and decide what we're going to have here. But I think I was talking to my friend who she bought bifold doors And she said, if it's not your forever home, which this house isn't, I'm not sure how long I'm gonna live in here, to be honest. At the moment, it sounds so silly, but I feel like I am falling in love with it. So maybe I want to stay here longer, I don't know. But every design feature that I'm thinking of with the next buyer in mind. So I'm not doing my own personal preference, and obviously I'm going with my budget as well. So I think French doors, just because they're a little bit cheaper and they still get the light in. The plan was potentially to do a kitchen extension, but materials nowadays are just so expensive. So in terms of the value that it would add to the house, it didn't really feel worth it. Also, the drainage is directly outside the kitchen, so you would have to remodel that as well. You'd have to push that all out too, which is a really big job. Right, so up the stairs we go. That front door needs replacing. I really don't like, you know, those like flowers in the glass. I think they look quite old-fashioned, so I won't be choosing that again. These are the stairs, so the carpet has been taken up. Still need to take the wallpaper off the walls. These obviously will come off at some point as well. And these handles, there's a little, I was going to say mirror, there's a window there. And then I'll take you into the smaller bedroom first. So this is John's room. And we've got the majority, well, I say majority, half of the wallpaper off so far. So something that I'm noticing as well is that we're probably going to have to, I say probably, we're going to have to replaster a lot of these walls, which I kind of expected anyway. And then another thing on my to-do list is, so these windows, they are double glazed. I'm not sure when they were put in, but they're actually quite decent. And I quite like that pattern at the top. They just need, I think, maybe resealing. I'm going to get someone to come and look at them. And the handles as well, I think need replacing. They're a bit old. And then this is the master bedroom, which is a really decent size actually. So I'll stand back here. So all of the wallpaper is off, the carpets are up, and there's a little ledge there as well. So I think what I'm going to do, one second, I'll just pop you down and explain. So just for the purposes of me, whenever I'm able to live in here, I'm going to have this as my work room because it's the bigger option, and also I can put my camera there and I can record my Pilates classes, and then I'm going to stick my little desk over there. Obviously, if someone else was to live here, they'd probably stay in this room because it's bigger, but I am going to use it as my workspace. And then lastly, this is the bathroom. So the water currently isn't on because I have this note in here which told me that this pipe leaks and I'm scared. I'm scared to put the water on before someone actually looks at it. So I don't know if any of this works, but obviously it all needs replacing anyway, because it's not great. It's been there for a long time. And then here's the bath with some rotten rubber gloves on there. Some mirrors, there I am, hey. So this obviously will all be replaced. I think this is probably one of the first jobs that we're going to have to do in order to live in here. So we're going to have to replace the boiler, and we're going to have to add radiators because there's no central heating. That's quite a big job. And then whilst we're doing that, we'll redo the bathroom as well. I have lots of ideas and I'm really excited to pick tiles, etc. So yeah, very, very exciting. Oh, also, whose bright idea was it to put the electrics under the bath? That to me doesn't feel very safe. So yeah, all of the electrics need checking as well too. So there you go, that's everything that I have got done so far in my house renovation. I'm actually really impressed with the amount that I've got done. I say I have been having help. My family have been helping me take down wallpaper, etc. But I'm really happy. So the plan, and I don't know how realistic this is because obviously this is the first time I've done this. So the plan, hopefully, is that I can live in here by October. So it's August now.
Don't know how realistic that is, but I'm not precious about where I stay, to be honest. I've stayed in some dives in my life. I just need it to be safe, the electric's checked, I need a workable bathroom. The kitchen I'm not too bothered about. I can just like have a microwave and make that work. But yeah, that's it so far. I'm gonna document the process, give you updates. I'm gonna do as well, if you are interested in all of this, I'm gonna do weekly vlogs on my Instagram and TikTok just to demonstrate the process. But yeah, thank you for watching. And honestly, like I just can't explain how much of a dream come true this is. I know it's so cheesy, but 3 years ago when I couldn't afford my rent and I had to move back in with my parents, I wrote a list of all of my goals, and one of them was to own property, and I've done it on my own. I have a property in my name, it's gorgeous, it's a renovation, and I'm just so excited and really proud of myself. So yeah, thank you for watching and speak to you soon.